when you have plans and then it's 4 o'clock and you want to make these plans 11 a.m.? It's today. Welcome, bud. You gonna come podcast with me? Is it the ball for the episode? Can I see it? Can I see it? All right. We've got our tennis ball already. Oh, I just hit Audrey in the face. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hello, and welcome to the Plies and Hellhounds Channel. We are a crafty, puppy interrupted podcast coming to you from Central Connecticut. I'm your human host, Gabby, and you can find me everywhere online as Gabigailss and on my hand-dyed yarn at Plies and Hellhounds and pliesandhellhounds.com. Welcome to our first post-Vlogmas video. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. This is our first one back, and I'm super excited. I am hoping to be more consistent with videos this year. I have a planning problem. By planning problem, I mean buying planners problem. But I'm hoping that the way I have used them all, because yeah, I'm trying to use all of them. No chill. There's no chill again this year. We should just be used to this by now. I am hoping that I can get onto a more consistent recording, editing, and posting basis schedule, and just getting back into the swing of doing these because I really miss it. This week's episode, or video, I'm going to be going over what I made during Vlogmas, most of it being gifts, so I couldn't show a ton of it because I wasn't sure who was watching. And just the projects that I finished during Vlogmas as a nice recap and kind of like what the plan is going forward for the year. I will also be going over what books I read in December because, yes, I read a couple. Not that many, but I did read some. So yeah, let's get into it. I am wearing the Alder pullover by Samantha Guerin Designs in Lavender Lune. Her Slub base, which I'm forgetting the name of the color, I'll try and put it in the show notes, and her Siri Alpaca fuzzy base. Here it is. In Rumor. I only remember this name because I also bought fingering weight of it this year. Or DK weight. I bought something of it at Rhinebeck. Whew. Why am I out of breath? I'm just so excited. And the overalls are from Target because I needed clothes and they're super comfy and I feel like I work on a sheep farm, so I think it's very fitting. Are you ready, pups? Are you ready to get into it? All right, what we made during Vlogmas. I'm gonna start with the one I don't have. Thank you, but I already showed the tennis ball. You have to put it on the chair. Not in the fiber. Okay, well, I'm going to start with the first one. These are a pair of blueberry waffle socks out of my hand-dyed yarn in the Cutie base, which is 75% superwash Corriedale, 25% nylon in the Selcouth colorway from my fall collection. And I knit these for our roommate Angel for Christmas. It's his first hand knit gift and he was super excited for it, but he has them and has been wearing them. So I don't have a picture. I don't have them in my hands, but here's a picture of them. I did a 72 stitch count on a size US 1.5 DPN. I think I used my Knit Pro Zings on it and just regular heel flap and gusset, and it was super easy. I love this pattern and is fantastic gift knitting because it makes it super stretchy, so then if you're a little bit off on their size, it's very forgiving. What are you trying to do? You're crushing my fiber. Gift set number 2 is the Mercury Socks by, I am forgetting her name. I will put it down here. I just wrote my show notes too. I knit this out of Fiber Stash Dye Works in their traffic cone color. Look how blue it is making me. Oh my god. On their Tweedy toes, so this is their merino tweed sock. I got this at New England Fiber Fest, and I knit these for Jake. He put his entire foot through his first pair of Mercury socks during New England Fiber Fest, and he really enjoys lace socks, so I thought I would knit him a new pair. I don't know where my voice is going, but it's gone. I just ate like a whole box of pizza rolls for lunch / early dinner, so that's probably why it's mad. I did the 72 stitch count on US 1.5s as well, I think. Ones or 1.5s. I don't remember. I use my Hiya sharps, so whatever I bought those in, maybe I'll check. And I did a heel flap and the double gusset decreases, so the decreases are on the bottom of the foot instead of along the side. It just like creates two V's, and it just kind of like tucks around his heel because he's got a really high instep, and I found that it fits his feet really nicely. He has worn these a ton already. I just washed them for the podcast, so he can now have these back officially. He had no idea that I knit them. He just knew I was knitting socks for Angel, so he loves them dearly, and I'm very glad. He's a very good knit-worthy person. So that was all the knitting that I did for during Vlogmas and for gifts during Vlogmas. I didn't want to do a ton of knitting gifts this year. I have in the past, but this year it was very much of, I wanted to chill during December. That didn't happen, but I wanted to. The last thing I made for Vlogmas, like sewing knitting wise, is a sewing project I sewed the Linden Sweatshirt by Grainline Studios for Jake out of this Blackbird fabric. And it's got these like, it's a knit fabric with these cables on it. I sewed him the size 16. I'm really glad I took one of his like thermal shirts that he wears all the time and measured that and based that on what size to pick, because I knew that meant that it would fit the style that he likes. He loves this. He has also worn this a ton already. He wore it on Christmas. He's he wore it to the movies the other night, and then I felt so bad because I don't know if they turned like the AC off or something, but we were both sweating to death trying to watch Spider-Man. I did not mean to do pattern matching on the cuffs, but I did sort of by accident on one of them. Not so much the other one, because I wasn't paying attention. Is anyone surprised? Absolutely not. And I 100% want, I think, to make a couple of these for me for like working in the yard situations, or like I need to get dressed but I don't want to like wear clothes days, like the days where you just kind of want to wear like outside pajamas. It was a super easy pattern. I would highly recommend it if you are getting into sewing with knits. And the directions were really good. It goes from a size 2 to an 18, I believe. I'm not sure if they extended the sizes. I have to recheck the website, but I did link it down below. And I think the largest chest circumference is 53, I believe. Something like that. I think this was a 46. 44 or 46. I have no idea. I really should check this before I say things. Yeah, he also thoroughly enjoys this, and it has been washed through the washer, through the dryer at least twice now, I think, since Christmas, and has held up great. It's the first time I'm using Blackbird fabrics, and I have plans to buy more from them. I mean, I got this as a D-stash from my friend. Is that cat hair? Looks like that's a giant stain. Oh no, it's just folded weird. I got the fabric as a D-stash from a friend, but this really solidified my decision to get Blackbird fabrics because they're delicious. And those are all the things that I made during Vlogmas. I did actually make and finish some stuff after Vlogmas, which I can show you. I've been doing a lot of secret test knitting that I cannot show you. I'm hoping I will be able to show you closer to the spring/summer of this year. So my goal this year is to do less secret knitting. Not no secret knitting, because I do enjoy it, but because it takes all the pressure of like trying to post stuff, which is a whole other thing. But I would like to do more things that I can share with you guys. That's a lot of the reasons why I didn't post a ton last year, was I just couldn't show you what I was working on. Projects that I finished post Vlogmas, which was last night. I have finally finished these ankle socks that I started in 2018? 2017? I don't even know. They are Biscott yarns, self-striping in the Outlander or Scottish Highlander colorway, one of the two. I haven't had the tag in so long, so I'm not 100% sure what the official name is, but I got this yarn at Vogue Knitting Live one year. I knit a pair of regular socks out of them. and I had just enough left over to do some ankle socks, so I cast these on and then promptly never touched them. But while I was working on Jake's socks, I needed something that I could quickly pick up and start knitting on and make progress. That way he didn't like catch on to what I was working on. So this was one of those projects, and then they knit up so quickly that I was like, I'm just gonna finish it. I worked on like the toe decreases of one of them during December while I was secret knitting, and then I cast on and finished this sock, or yeah, this sock in like a day and a half, 2 days maybe, of like an hour or two of knitting here and there, like while playing The Sims, watching TV, making dinner, like that kind of thing. So they're done. They're finally done. I didn't follow a pattern for them. I just did a 64 stitches on a size US 1, a 1x1 twisted rib for 5 rows. I did 10 rows of straight stockinette, and then a fish lips kiss heel, knit my regular foot, and just did regular wedge toe for the toe. Super easy, nothing fancy, just something, and it feels really good to get some knitting needles back and a project bag emptied, and just delightful, just good. I did pull out Jake's Pisces socks that I also haven't finished, and I'm past the heel of the second sock, so I would like to try and finish those this month. That is my goal. That's the knitting. I actually did some spinning too, and I'm super excited about it. I dyed, my friend Sam asked me to dye like a whole bushel of fibers that she got, and I had a ton of fun doing it, and I used some of it to like play with color ideas for clubs and whatnot. So I dyed myself on a braid of, I believe it's the Rainbow Lay. We're not 100% sure because I didn't write down the braids that I kept. I never wrote down what the braid was, but I dyed the No Mourners colorway from my Six of Crows book box on a skein of the Rainbow Lay, and I started spinning it up, and oh, it's delicious. I'm so excited for this. I'm hoping it's in focus. I can't see that far. So this is half of the braid. I'm going to do either a traditional 2-ply or a traditional 3-ply. I haven't decided yet. I am spinning it on my Blue Bonnet Honey and Ply wheel. Here is it in fiber form. I've already split the braid into 2 ounces, separated them, and then made these little nests of pretty much pencil roving, like just ready to go bits so I can quickly spin them. And so this is the second half. I haven't started it yet because I wanted to do this. That way I didn't have to try and take the bobbin off of the wheel mid-spin, because I don't really like doing that. I usually have all the tension stuff set up so I can just put it all back together and get going. If I do the 3-ply, I think I'm gonna do this, what is it, Rose? Merino Rose. I got this at Rhinebeck, 2019 Rhinebeck, and I don't know what to do with it, but I think that this color would like pop really nicely against a cream if one of the plies is just a plain cream. So I think I'm gonna spin this up because it is the 2 ounces, so it will fit. Bobbin's gonna be 2 ounces, and then I'll ply them together. So this will fit on one bobbin and still match everything without me having weird leftovers. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm super excited. I'm not one for like barber pooling, hand spun, but I wanna branch out instead of just doing a chain ply, which is what I usually do, so that's my plan. I have no deadline on this. I just wanted to spin more. Yeah, we're not doing crafting goals this year because I always seem to ignore them as soon as I do them, but as ideas come up, my hope is that I can just go from there. And that's what I've been making. Also in December, we did our Dark Academic yarn countdown, which was super fun. This was the first year that I did 5 full skeins to open once a week, and then one on your special holiday that you choose, be it Christmas or solstice, whatever you want, or just when you want to open it because you had a bad day. And I worked with Samantha Guerin Designs to design a shawl using 4 of the colors. I put 5 in my shawl just to see what it looked like, and here she is. So I helped test knit this And I did this on the iron base, which is our 85% Superwash BFL tweed, and I'm in love with it. So the colors, I think in order of how I released them was Anacarum, which is this beautiful like deep mauve, Sonder, which is this cream oatmeal-y, like a hint of gray to it, Brexera, which is this mustard gold, which is like the gold that I've been trying to get since I started dyeing, Numinos, which is this warm tan with speckles of brown and gold and blues, and then Eugen, which is this almost, it's such a deep like cherry burgundy purple that like it kind of reads brown on the camera right now. And I love these so much. I also love this shawl dearly. It is so cozy. I haven't worn it because I'm afraid I was too scared to wear it before like we released it because I didn't want to accidentally ruin it for anybody. Oh, but now I can wear her. I love her so much. For integrating the 5th color, I just, instead of doing Eugen on the 2nd chevron, I used the gold. Sam has released the pattern on Ravelry to everybody, and I am going to be doing all these colors as my winter collection. So this is going to be our winter break collection, and I am going to be having it released for the end of January. And I'm super excited for it. I love these colors so much. It's just a very me color palette, and I love it. I love it so much. Is that it for makes? Oh no, I have more sewing. I forgot about her. All right, the last thing I did sew was a dress for Christmas, and oh god, I will try and put I will put some footage of me wearing the dress and the dress that I based this off of, because it's very hard to show in this tiny little space. So I did a self-drafted pattern of a faux wrap knit dress with a ruffle on the bottom that I got at TJ Maxx. It's so comfy. I wear it all the time, and it just like, it fits well, it wears well. Like, it's really good for dressing up, dressing down, that kind of thing. So I wanted to make one out of velvet because I did have the idea to make a velvet wrap dress out of this floral on black crushed velvet knit I got at Affordable Fabrics. So I laid down and measured the original TJ Maxx dress and self-drafted a pattern from that. The skirt is basically just a big rectangle. The ruffle is also a big rectangle. The only problem with this one was I didn't add the correct amount of ruffle. So instead of having almost twice as much fabric for the ruffle versus the bottom circumference of the skirt, it's like 8 inches more than the bottom circumference of the skirt, so it's a very little ruffle, which is fine. I'm not that mad about it. It still wears really well and it still swooshes really well, so I might just leave it. I did sew this on my serger. Did I? No, I didn't. Sorry, I lied. I did most of this with just a zigzag stitch on my Singer. I had a ton of trouble with this fabric just because it's slippery and knits, so it was stretching and sliding, and it was very frustrating, to say the least. I wore this for a Christmas party, I wore it for Christmas, I wore it on New Year's. I'm going to wear this so much. It's just such a me outfit. I enjoy it thoroughly. And it definitely got me back into sewing. I do have a ton of sewing ideas now, and I want to go through all my like outfit ideas / wardrobe necessities and start planning that out. Now that's all of my makes. Yeah, I am hoping that I can, with this channel, put out more regular videos. I'm aiming to do 3 videos a month, including a monthly recap of all of my projects instead of trying to do the weekly what I'm working on, what I finished, because I'm not finishing things as quickly. I'm not working on things that I can show you as much, and I don't want this to feel like I need to finish projects in order to create content. So I think I'm going to I'm going to do a recap of like what I've read, what I've made, and if I have anything started and or ready to go for my next project into one video to do at the end of the month. And then the other videos I'll either be doing like weekly vlogs, because I really like doing that, or very project-based videos, be it if I'm doing a big sewing project or I finished a big thing or finished a couple projects and I want to talk about them all in one go, or if there's something else that I'm working on. But I'm hoping I can do some other kind of videos that encompass more of what I've been getting into recently, be it like I kind of want to get into floral arranging. I think that'd be fun to put together a video for. I have a planner addiction now, so I think including that, because I love seeing what people do for journals and planners and stuff, like including that kind of thing I think could be super fun. So it's a lot of experimentation this year, and just I want this channel to be as fun for me to make as it is for you to watch, if that makes any sense. Okay, our last thing is what I read in December. I believe last time I talked to you, I just finished There, which was one of our book club books. I didn't read the December book club. I just never got around to it. It is on my TBR. It's called The Last Christmas in Paris, and I believe I think it's a World War II Paris, right before their occupation. So I am interested in reading that. But what I actually did read was Walking in a Witchy Wonderland by Juliet Cross. This was 4 stories, small short stories, smutty romance of following this group of sister witches in New Orleans. Are they in New Orleans? I think they are. She's got a whole series on these, like Don't Hex and Drive. And it's basically like witches and supernatural. Like one of their boyfriends is a werewolf, one of them's a vampire. I think one of the stories follows their bartender who like falls in love with his best friend, and it's super cute. So that was just a nice like 2-hour read. It was adorable and very like holiday-y. After that, I read Sing Me to Sleep by R.M. Virtues. This was a dark romance involving a woman who had her house broken into and her father murdered during this crime, so she develops trouble sleeping, insomnia, and then eventually a sleep paralysis problem. But in this world, hell and demons is a real place and it is going through political turmoil, but there's reapers who come in and take souls when they die, but there's also demons that deal with nightmares, sleep paralysis, that sort of thing. So her sleep paralysis demon falls in love with her, and it was a lot more like hell political go over than I thought it was gonna be. Like, they're now at war with heaven because heaven's angels retaliated against them in the world. So like the truce they have is while they're working, like while Reaper is getting souls, while sleep paralysis demon is making sure the person can't move, they're not supposed to be attacked then, but they're starting to attack them. So it's kind of he's got to deal with the fact that he's falling in love with a human, but also that she could be in danger because of who he is situation. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't know when the next book's coming out. I have to look it up, but this is my goal is to not hide any books that I read this year, so get ready. The next one that I read on Christmas Eve was Mistletoe by Kimberly Lemmings, and what bud? I only have a little bit left to go. She wrote That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, which was just delightful. So this is the same world, but post. So I forgot the main character's name. The main character is the daughter of a blacksmith who went and stole ore from a demon / shapeshifter, and therefore he was cursed to have all of his makes be talking, but they only made like crude jokes. So the main character, I can't remember her name, has to take this very sassy sword and go find this demon, but the demon makes a pact that if she pretends to be engaged to him for a week while at this like demon summit, then he will lift the curse on her father. So they go on the summit. It's very good, like forced relationship, fake relationship turned into love situation. Just delightful Christmassy smut. I love her reading so much. I love her writing so much. It's just so cute. Again, that was like a 2-hour read. It was super cute. I did pre-order it. It was $2.99 on Kindle. Sing Me to Sleep I read on Kindle Unlimited, and Walking in a Witchy Wonderland I either read on Kindle Unlimited or I bought. It was another like $2.99, $3.99 ebook situation. Then that was all of December. So far in 2022, my goal is to read 60 books. I read about 90 last year. I'd like to thank all of my success to Ice Planet Barbarians and Ruby Dixon. Without her, I would not be where I am today. So this year's goal is 60 books, and I have already read The Baker's Guide to Risky Rituals by Catherine Moon. This is it's called the Sweet Pea series. It takes place in Sweet Pea, Virginia, which has been like dubbed the most good, cheerful town in America. So this biker gang from hell called the Hell's Bells, which are actual demons, their goal is to come in and destroy the town through like arson, starting fights, just kind of like making mayhem. So Belith is the head demon, and Josie is in this coven of 4 witches, 2 of which are sisters. She is from New Orleans, so she's more into the voodoo practice, and she also owns a patisserie in town, and through her bakery, Belith falls in love with her, and so it's kind of a enemies to lovers, like they have to figure out their new stance in town. There's also a murder mystery in there because all of a sudden like campers are being murdered in the forest nearby and they're making it look like witchcraft, so everyone's going after the coven. It was delightful. It was probably the tamest book by Catherine Moon I've ever read in my life. There was no spicy scenes until the last 90% of the book, and I was not expecting it, but the plot was delicious. It was delightful. I then read the second book, which is The Knitter's Guide to Banishing Boyfriends, which follows June, who is a stitch witch and she owns the yarn shop in town, and the demon Ash, who is also a knitter, and it goes into like the coven cult that she was in as a child after her parents were murdered, and the abusive witch that was running it, and how like she's trying to, like, another witch has come forward and wants to take him down, but nobody else has like offered to go forward with the court or anything. So then there's another murder mystery involved, and so it's June and Ash trying to figure out this murder mystery, and Ash is also a knitter, and it's just so good. And like you can tell Catherine Moon is also a knitter. Like she gets very specific in the yarn, and just there's I think one scene where her sister doesn't listen to her because she's too busy like stuffing her face into a cubby of yarn, and I've never felt so seen than that one page. Yeah, that was super fun. That was the last book I read. I finished it 2 nights ago. And I got both of those on Kindle Unlimited. I think it's going to be a 4-book series. The Rosie, which is a garden witch, and Imogen, which is a shadow witch, are the 2 other witches in the coven. So I think that's what we're going to do. I kind of have an idea who Rosie's going to end up with, but, and I kind of think I know who Imogen's going to end up with, but I'm super excited to see where this goes. I do have books lined up. We are reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I think that's how you say the last name. It was pretty big on like Bookstagram and Book Talk last year. And I know Joanna of Stitching the High Notes has read it. So that is our book club book of the month. My plan was to go to the library today and get it, but we had a snowstorm last night. So today was mostly shoveling and playing in the snow with the puppies. So I'll go out tomorrow. And I just kind of want to read a physical book. I just want to have a book in my hand. And I also have Within Obsession and Lies by Stacey Jones and Harper Wilde. This is from Kindle Unlimited. It is a dark, fae, shapeshifter, reverse harem romance. Arwen has like a super dark, dangerous power, and after something happens, it kind of like sends out a beacon to her power. So then you have... This is what the Amazon description said. A mafia boss, a psychopath, and a killer are attracted to this power. I haven't started it yet, but I heard it was described on Book Talk as a darker reverse harem ACOTAR. So I'm ready for it. There's 2 books so far out. I don't know how long the series is gonna be, but I'm also like super interested in reading books by multiple authors. I think that's a really good way of like combining their powers, if that makes any sense. That is all I have for you this week. Hopefully this didn't go on for too long, and I'm very excited for where I'm going to try and take this channel and these projects this year. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, supporting the shop, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.